Panasonic at SPI 2019. Erik Anderson from Panasonic Regional Sales, Northeast?
Northeast, that's correct.
Northeast,
Maryland to
correct.
Maine.
Okay, fantastic. Panasonic's been making a lot of noise at this show, specifically because they've entered the energy storage market. We want to hear all about this. So what have you got?
Yeah, sure. No, thank you very much. It's very exciting to be here with this new product that we're launching here at SPI. In Salt Lake City 2019. It's really one of the biggest reasons that I came to work for Panasonic.
Oh, nice.
Because as the industry sort of evolves from this sort of nascent solar market into a totally different standalone energy paradigm shifting, all that good stuff, storage is huge. And so we're very excited to be working with the prowess we bring to the manufacturing end of batteries along with our solar modules. So right behind us here is the actual product that we're bringing to market, and going to be shipping it out in the next couple of months.
Nice. All right. So yeah, this is it. I mean, it's black, it's sleek.
It is.
It looks really neat.
Yeah.
Basic feature set. What's in the box?
Yeah, sure. So we have two different distinct options essentially. We have an AC coupled version and a DC coupled version.
Okay.
We've made it very easy to keep track of which is which. The black version that we see right here is our DC coupled version. The white color on the face of the inverter and batteries is going to be our AC coupled solution. So basic feature set is that this DC coupled solution is going to manage not only the power coming from your solar modules, but also from your batteries, providing power to your loads, your appliances in your home, in normal grid operation and on a day-to-day basis, and then also when the grid goes down, we can provide backup power.
Nice.
So did I just hear that you have a different color for the AC coupled versus the DC coupled?
Yeah, absolutely.
First time I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So if you're rolling into the factory or you're rolling into your warehouse and you're going to pick one up, you're not going to grab the wrong one.
Right.
It's pretty obvious.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Great.
Right, absolutely.
That's great. Very cool.
Yeah, and we've tried to keep them both looking pretty sleek. It is a sort of an industrial type of piece of equipment, so we wanted to keep it as sleek and as low profile as possible, and I think we've accomplished that.
Well, let's get a sense for where this might be in the home. Is this an interior product? Is it an exterior product? Is it both? Or?
Yeah, so super important question. The rule of thumb I always talk about is that the batteries themselves like to live in the same environment that we do. So 60% relative humidity, 77 degrees, dry. But they can be absolutely installed in a basement up here where I'm from in the Northeast. Out in California, if you've got a garage that might be finished, you can certainly put it out there.
Right.
But we're not really going to put these things outside where they can get wet, where they're going to experience drastic changes in temperature. Really need to keep it somewhat, confined and protected.
Gotcha.
Coming from Hawaii, the black unit especially.
That would be tough.
Okay,
You got to
so
keep the sun off it.
Let's get a sense here for the size of the batteries. So is this case standard for, regardless of how many batteries you select to have in it?
Yes. So this battery cabinet that you see right here can hold up to 6 of our battery modules. Now, you don't have to put 6 in. As long as you're with an even number, you can put 2, 4, 6 into this cabinet, which gives some good flexibility for homeowners that might want to get
that way with 2 if you wanted
exactly.
to. And what per unit of those batteries? What are the characteristics? What's the kilowatt hour storage capability?
Yeah, absolutely. So each battery module is a 2.85 usable kilowatt hour capacity.
Okay, 2.85.
Yep, absolutely. So the actual capacity that's in there is a little bit larger, but we advertise what's actually usable. So 2.85 kilowatt hours.
Okay, so that's 100% usable, 2.85 per unit.
Correct.
And it's between, you say 6?
2, 4, and 6.
2, 4, and 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So fully loaded, you're about 17. I think it's 0.1 kilowatt hours usable.
Right.
With just 2, you're at 5.7, something like that.
Right. That's a nice variety of storage amounts, I think.
Absolutely.
For your smallest homes, and we were working on sizing back when I was in the installation business for storage systems in Hawaii, and the smallest systems would be around that territory for like a self-supply functionality, maybe a few kilowatts of PV, and you wouldn't need much storage, right? But then, of course, as you move forward and you get bigger systems and self-supply, you need more storage to make them work, right? To make them show efficiency. So, okay, fantastic. What else more can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so I already mentioned that we can provide power in a normal day-to-day inverting, net metering type of situation. Then when the grid goes down, we can supply backup. But we also have the ability, like you said, to manage within a grid-connected structure, whether it be a time of use tariff, a demand structure, to offset those peak costs of energy. And that's probably going to be one of the most prevalent uses of our product. Backup is great, it gives peace of mind to homeowners, but it's still a bit expensive, and honestly, the payback is tough to calculate because it's really peace of mind.
Right. Right. So you've got a AC coupled in white casing.
Yes.
A DC coupled in black casing.
You got it.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
You've got some modularity here.
Yep.
You can choose different types or different sizes of the storage that you need.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and let me add on to that. So we talked about energy, right? And there's a huge distinction and importance to understand the distinction, as you guys know, between energy and power, right? So we talked about energy. On the power side, our inverter is rated at 5 kilowatts. In the DC coupled version, we can actually stack that 3 times. So we'd be able to get up to 15 kilowatts.
So does that mean you're getting an aggregate of, like, that power is actually multiplying when you're putting these in? So when you, for your backup loads, you could get 15 kilowatts of power to your home?
Yeah,
so that's a whole house backup.
Yeah, that
it
really
is, exactly.
Yeah.
And our DC coupled solution with that capability facilitates a whole home backup or whole home management application.
So that begs the question, is there any intelligence in there? I mean, there's a lot of conversation of the smart energy kind of home, smart panels, et cetera, et cetera. Is there any intelligence in there that will allow you to curtail loads in the home if you want to, or
down the road? That's absolutely the game plan and the vision.
Right.
You know, we spend as modern humans about 80% of our time inside, and so managing the built environment is a huge opportunity, I think, to not only improve health, but also as a business. We're looking to help everyone live a healthier life and a better, more efficient life. So down the road, that's absolutely going to happen. And as appliances get smarter and can communicate with equipment like this, we're going to be able to really circumvent even the mechanical load shedding abilities of some products and go right to the appliances and manage them through this.
Panasonic being one who manufactures appliances.
Absolutely,
right,
exactly.
Let's talk a little about the sizing of these systems.
Yeah,
kind of the smaller and then up to the boundaries of one system, right?
Right.
So you've got I think it's do you say a 5 kilowatt inverter or a 5 kilowatt inverter?
It could surge higher than that.
Surge higher.
Right.
And then with that, I suppose you have continuous output at 5 kilowatts to.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so you could stack 3 of those, right?
Yep.
So what does that mean on the PV side of the fence? Does that give us, what's that ratio between DC to AC? Are you using substring optimizers? And then how big of a system can we put into this? And where's the boundary of that large residential system?
Yeah, sure. And that's an important conversation and can be split between both products, both sides, AC and DC. It's the same conversation, just had differently, right? Sure. So with our DC coupled solution, it's really just a string inverter. Right, so we've got 2 inputs, and you bring in your PV into that inverter, just like we did way back when, before Enphase and SolarEdge came out with their module level electronic solutions. You can typically oversize that by 1.2, 1.3, and you have that capability with our DC coupled inverter. Right. So you're in that 6 kilowatt range of DC input. So
maybe around 18 kW max on the
sure,
roof.
With the three, yeah, absolutely stacked together. Yeah,
it gives you a sense of and are you using any type of optimization on the roof? Or using?
Not yet. We're agnostic to that.
Okay.
And honestly, not every territory is at an NEC 14 or 17 code compliance mandate yet. So we don't want to force folks into a more expensive, even though it's perhaps safer, we don't want to force folks to spend more than they need to adhere to their local restrictions and guidelines.
Could you work with a third party like Tygo or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tygo works. And there's a couple other options out there. Optimization, that's probably the best one. Most prevalent, I'll say. But then if you're just looking for NEC 14 rapid shutdown compliance or 17 rapid shutdown compliance, there are other products on the market from NEP. I just came across another one today at the conference, Staubli, the group that makes multi-contact. They have a module level rapid shutdown product. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of lot of interest in those ancillary companies or ancillary products to help facilitate what we
you just said was interesting and a little nuance. Within the rapid shutdown requirement of something that you would have in your module, and then optimization, they're not always synonymous. Like they're not always the same thing. Right? You can have different feature sets.
Different feature sets, different functionality, different prices.
There you go. There you go. So what you need is kind of going to drive that. Let me ask you about the storage. So how many of these? Is this one to a inverter, or the multiples? What's your boundaries here?
Yeah, absolutely. So back to the energy question, right? Yeah. So with each inverter, we can stack two fully loaded battery enclosures.
So it's on your 34-ish kilowatt hours?
Yeah, about 34.2. I try not to do math publicly,
but get comfortable with being wrong from time to time.
Right, exactly.
So you can do 2 of these
per inverter.
Per inverter, right?
So then with 3 inverters, you do the math, and you're upwards in that
100
100
kilowatt hour range,
which is amazing.
That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice. So out in Hawaii, that we about 80% of our permit poles are with storage. We're actually seeing systems like that being installed. So it's not so uncommon.
Right.
So it's great to have that flexibility, and I know that certain clients will want that.
Right. Well, and talking about Hawaii, certainly some of the utility territories have pretty specific and pretty strict regulations on how you can interconnect with their grid. And so we're able to satisfy all those types of different grid profiles that you may have, whether it's zero export, self-consume, time of use mitigation, demand charge mitigation. We've got the functionality to really provide a solution for any grid territory or a profile.
And you hinted at something, I think Jay caught it too. You said that, well, when you talk about building out systems, that you have your DC, kind of what you can do with DC, and you have your AC coupled system too. So you could conceivably build further with AC coupled, am I right?
Well,
could you use your AC coupled system to get a little more storage if you wanted to in addition to this?
I wouldn't be putting them together. Is that the question? So I would probably go DC coupled or AC coupled. I probably wouldn't bring them together.
Okay. I've seen a couple of strategies like that out there. When you meet the limits of a DC coupled system, if you want to bring in an AC coupled, something to kind of bump it up, you're able to do that as well.
Sure.
You probably imagine what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But, so that's not kind of on the radar right now. But so let's talk about other basic things. Generator integration.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that answer.
So do you? How does that function with this system? Are we? Can you give us a sense of how a generator might work with this system?
Yeah, so it's a simple 2-wire start out of our inverter that controls the generator. We have an internal transfer switch, so when needed, we can provide power either to load or to charge.
So you could conceivably, in an outage scenario with your system, you could get down to a certain state of charge, and it could be too low. System would shut off, but then it would fire a generator, recharge it, and you continue to meet your loads with battery, or you could meet the loads of the home directly with generator.
Right.
Do you have certain generator brands that you work with, or are you agnostic about that too?
Yeah, we're agnostic to that right now. I think really, from what I've seen and from my experience, the generator companies are going to be dictating the functionality or the systems that you're able to use their generators in. Generac, for instance, has a EcoGen. That's the one that's certified to be controlled by third-party piece of equipment. So you might want to check with them as much as us.
Okay, we certainly will do that. And then Jay, do you want to talk a little bit about how panels, the fact that this is a company that has really one of the dominant PV panels in the industry.
Yeah,
a lot of respect out there, by the way. I'll tell you little side piece here. Some of the installers, some of the roof fellas that I know that have been out there working with panels and hand clamping and looking at everything, they'll say Panasonic is great. It does better than it states on its spec sheets.
Absolutely.
That's something that I think is not small, right? So
the folks actually out there on the roof saying
which is huge.
Yeah. So that being said, you're known for this for the HIT panels. Tell us a little bit about what that means as a panel manufacturer to move into the energy storage space. What warranties, functionality, attack, anything you can kind of bring to light.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the way we're positioning ourselves here is really as a full home solution, right? From solar to storage, you're able to provide a solution to your customers that's branded and warranted by a 101-year-old company. So there's not much more stability in this room here today. While there's a lot of great companies, not many folks can say that they've been around for 101 years and have that stability of warranty. And really the warranty is only as good as the company backing it. And corporate Panasonic backs our warranties not only on our battery products, but on our modules as well.
Excellent. So what are the warranties?
So for our battery products, we've got a 10-year warranty on our inverter and our cabinet. The batteries themselves are a 10-year warranty, or whichever comes first, 7.56 megawatt hours of throughput.
The throughput number.
The throughput number, So if you do the math on that,
Everyone
and you cycle
throughput.
daily, remembering that a cycle is a full depletion and replenishment, you can go for about 7.5 years if you daily cycle, 1 cycle a day.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've got a 7 and change megawatt hours throughput, 10-year warranty, whichever comes first, basically, right?
Yeah, on the batteries.
On the batteries. And then PV, just so we kind of round it out, what's the PV manufacturing warranties?
Yeah, so we were able to bring to market sort of a revolutionary warranty product, essentially, if you will. It's called the Triple Guard warranty. Specific to Panasonic, we offer industry-leading warranties across 3 different very important components of what someone's going to be worried about. It's durability, it's reliability, and then the replacement costs if something happens.
Yep.
So reliability, we're going to produce at least 90.76% of our power on day one in year 25. On the product side, durability. We have a 25-year product warranty when registered on our website, and then for our authorized installer network, we're able to offer them a labor warranty for 25 years as well. So we have an extremely low failure rate, but if something does go wrong, we're going to help make that contractor whole for doing the work to replace the product for that homeowner.
I'll tell you, it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
O&M, especially as systems start to mature, they get 10, 15 years into it, you start seeing little things, and it's good to know that you're covered, right?
Yeah.
And that you're not covered, you're not calling a different company for your storage system, which I think is probably going to end up being pretty ubiquitous in the future, right?
Yeah, that's the big message this show. It seems like there's a lot of folks where you can buy storage, PV, inverter, controls, whatever, the whole stack from a single vendor, and it really comes down to what do you want and who do you trust?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What does Panasonic see? This is kind of a big level question here, but what does Panasonic see in terms of the renewable energy industry, in terms of home? Let's talk about residential, of course.
Yep.
But what's your outlook? What do you see happening across the country? I mean, in Hawaii, storage is it's everything right now.
Absolutely.
Storage.
Yeah.
So many different kinds of systems, so many different players out there.
Yep.
Panasonic's a big company, probably has some great visibility on what's going to happen in the next decade. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, that's very complimentary. I don't know that any of us have a crystal ball that could see out in the solar industry 10 years. The 12 years I've been in it has changed more times than I could care to even count.
12 years in the industry.
Yeah. Starting as a contractor, working through distribution, and now the industry-leading manufacturer.
Right. Nice.
I've been pretty fortunate to have a well-rounded view of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we really see kind of a coalescing of all of the built environment variables coming together to be managed in unison, in concert. Right, and so that's everything from air quality to HVAC, power consumption in your appliances, power production, and storage with your energy storage system. So everything kind of working together to be smart, to be efficient, and to be reliable.
Wow, that's an interesting vision. Really kind of cohesive, everything kind of working. And
Sure, absolutely, and I mean that's a vision that sort of requires multiple silos or business units within Panasonic, because we're here specializing in solar and in batteries, but we've got a whole other division that specializes in HVAC and indoor air quality. So it's in so many ways it's a team effort.
Yeah, and Jay and I have been talking a lot about when a client has or a homeowner has a perspective on a brand like that.
Sure.
So Panasonic is a known brand.
Absolutely.
I just talked a little bit about how the installation community and the roof guys got a lot of respect for the product, for the PV product. Now, people are acquainted with having Panasonic appliances. People might have a Panasonic split unit, like you mentioned HVAC.
Yep.
They might have other appliances in their home that are Panasonic.
Refrigerators,
Right?
And while Panasonic doesn't do a tremendous amount of consumer electronics these days, we're more creating solutions for companies to bring to market.
Gotcha.
Whether it's batteries for a storage product or for a car manufacturer. For example, and there are a few of them, and obviously I think most people can probably tie us with one specifically, but we also put our batteries in other cars. So my point is though that while we aren't necessarily doing that as much as we used to, I think most people that are buying solar probably owned a VCR at one point in time, and it might have been a Panasonic. Maybe it was a TV. I personally had a Technique stereo system from the 70s.
I had a Technique too.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, that's interesting.
I had a Panasonic mini disc player, so
there you go. We're still making all kinds of other stuff too. But,
along those lines of providing products to these different industries, right? So Panasonic actually is not only creating the storage and the panels, but the cells themselves, are they actually, they're Panasonic product, correct?
Yeah, right now we're making our cells in Osaka, Japan, and we ship those out to Malaysia or to Buffalo, New York for assembly.
Right. So to be an actual storage producer is a very unique thing in this space, right? To actually be producing energy storage, the cells themselves.
And then batteries as well, absolutely. Yeah, we're one of the world's leading, if not the world's leading manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries. And through different partnerships, of course, that's been facilitated, but we've got a tremendous capacity to manufacture specifically battery cells.
I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Because you're not just PV company saying, okay, we're going to get into the storage business. You're also a storage company saying, okay, we're going to do this. So you have expertise at the cell level as well as at the roof level.
Absolutely.
So that's a pretty exciting. Well, at the inversion level too.
The inversion, inversion is really a kind of standard electrical procedure in a lot of different products.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they must have engineer labs that are just experts.
Yeah. Well, and to your point about the sort of verticalization, if you will, of these products, we see all the major players in the solar industry racing right now to get to a single source product.
Right.
And we're really excited to be one of the first to market with a fully branded energy storage system that you can then couple with our modules and offer, again, a full Panasonic branded and warranted system for your homeowners.
Right, very good.
Nice.
Well, I think we covered a lot of ground here. Jay, Eric, is there anything else you want to get into before we wrap?
Final words from Panasonic?
Oh, I think the future is bright. I'm very excited for it, and I'm going to be back next year with just as much enthusiasm and I think so much more experience. So thank you guys very much.
Looking forward to seeing you then.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Aloha.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right.